Hey everyone, welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a Syndra deep dive. And how I'm going to do this video is I'm actually going to have two examples, and I'm fortunate enough to have versed Zed twice. And what I'm going to do is show you the difference between two different types of rune setups and also two different situations. One where you have a pressure jungler and one where you don't have a pressure jungler. And so this game, for example, I have the Mumu and they have a Jarvan. And the second game, I actually have a Lee Sin and they have a Sejuani. So I'm actually going to show you and step you through how to play your lane differently based off the junglers. Because this is really, really important when you play champions like Syndra because they have no ability. They have no mobility, so it completely changes the way you get to play the lane. So first of all, quickly talking about runes. I like to take Electrocute versus melee champions or just any champion that I just really hard outrange so I can proc my Electrocute very often. But say I'm equal range where it's very difficult to me to get my full combo off all the time and I just want to play poke, I like to take Comet. So here, again, I actually didn't know where Jarvan started this game, so I was a little bit confused. So again, what I want to do early game is play very, very slow. My first objective this game is to get to my Seekers. And that's my first tip is, again, when you're versing AD champions or any specific type of champion, you should be ready to adapt your build. So when I verse AD champions, I really, on a mage, I really like to go Seekers first item. Especially when you play slow because it just scales so well and it allows you to get your Zhonyas really quickly. It's good against Yasuo, it's good against Zed, it's good against Talon, and it just makes you really hard to kill. And you don't even need to take Exhaust versus these matchups if you just get Seekers really early on here. So early on, I actually auto attack the first minion because it allows me to auto attack all the minions without missing any. Alright, so as we play through this VOD, you'll notice how I'm playing very slow. I'm only queuing when he has to make a decision between the minion or me. I'm playing very slow, just last hitting the minions, trying to last hit the minions. And now once he's used his Q, I know I can actually walk past him past the minion wave. Again, I don't really know where Zed is, so soon you'll see me actually spend some time actually putting a ward down because I'm scared of Jarvan. So I end up walking into river here and putting a ward down. Now at least I have some semblance of safety and some side to lean on. Alright. Alright, so something you'll see me do is, as soon as I hit 3, and what I see a lot of Syndras do, and all ELOs, is they don't hold their abilities. As soon as I get level 3, you see them Q, W, E, bang, bang, bang. And what that does, it opens you up to just getting ganked because E is your only form of self-peel. It's your only defensive ability. And just, people need, like my biggest tip on Syndra is play very cool, calm, collected. Calculated auto attacks with your calculated Qs. Don't just spam your abilities. Do everything for a reason. And then notice here, if I just QWE him, it's going to screw the wave. It's going to open me up to getting ganked. It's going to allow Zed to just W on me. And there's nothing I can peel with. So when you're versing any champion that can just dive on you, it's really, really, my biggest tip is hold your E. So if they try to all in you, you just QE and then it's done. And notice here how I'm letting it push towards me. And actually I want to cover one more thing here before I go too far. So here, a really quick tip. If you want the enemy to start pushing the wave into you, try and stand in the middle of the minion wave. So what that does is it makes them make a choice. If you want to hit me, you also got to hit the surrounding minions. So look at this. Notice how if I'm standing out on the side over here, Zed can just use his full combo and he's not going to touch any of the minions. But if I stand in the middle of the minion wave, look at this. He has to queue through all the minions. And what that's going to do is, like I said, when I'm playing against an aggressive jungler, I want the wave on my side. So it's going to have to hit the minions and then it's going to start pushing to me. And now look at it. It's pushing towards me slowly because he's got more minions than me. And so again, I'm just trying to sit in the middle of the minion wave. Thin it a little bit so it doesn't get too big. So I'm constantly thinking of these things. Where's Jarvan? At this point I don't know, so I want to hold my E. Second of all, the wave position. Is it coming towards me slowly? Is it pushing into him? So this dictates how I want to play the lane. So for example, a few things I'm being careful of. I'm trying not to use my abilities in the middle of the minion wave because again, it will allow it, make it pushing to him. I'm also thinking about my position in the wave. Am I outside? Am I standing outside the minion wave? Am I standing inside the minion wave? Why am I doing this? Because I want Zed to push into me. And then the next thing is I'm being conscious of my mana and my HP. Alright, notice here a little tip for dodging any skill shot. This is not just Zed. Don't walk in a straight line. Walk side to side. And it makes it a lot harder for them to hit abilities. So this is a perfect wave position right outside my tower. And what this is doing, it's giving Amumu time to farm. Amumu's been able to do nearly a full clear. Like he's nearly died in the jungle, but whatever. And it's actually allowed Jarvan, who's an early jungle, to not to get any kills off, not blow any flashes. It's super simple. And now I'm helping my team by not dying here, waiting for Amumu to get back on the map before I look to want to pressure. So again, I'm just kind of playing safe, and I'm trying. And notice here how I W the wave. The reason this is because the next thing I'm thinking about is I don't want the wave to get so big that it can build up and crash into the tower. I want to keep it in this sweet spot here. So sometimes you'll see me just thin the wave a little bit. You know, running a comb through it. You know, when you do your hair or something, running a comb through the wave. And so this is a perfect example. I see Jarvan here looking to gank. Mumu's in base. If I'm playing aggressive, I would have had to blow flash. And he just W's in on me. And so I can just QE. Bang. And then there goes their play. It's done. And I just dodge side to side and he can't do anything. And now Jarvan's just wasting time. He hasn't based. And Mumu's already been to base. And is, I don't know what the hell Jarvan's doing here. But so I'm completely neutralizing Jarvan's early game by playing like this. And now my Mumu's kind of getting back on the map, which is great. And my first objective, like I said, is to get to Seekers, and I'm not quite there yet. I've still got 2 corrupting pots and 2 biscuits. So that's the other thing, remember I said in my previous video, is I'm spacing out the use of my mana and HP within this wave. So I will A, have enough mana and HP just to get to the item that I want, and B, have enough mana to be able to push the wave when I need it so I can actually get to base without missing any creeps. And here when Zed uses his ability like this, he's getting frustrated trying to get the wave in because he's stuck in this really annoying spot. Then I can walk up and play a bit more aggressive here because he has nothing. Just auto and making sure to auto when you verse melee champions. It's really important. Weave in those auto attacks. And now, so I'm walking up a little bit to see if Zed was basing, but he showed. And he's getting really frustrated. He has no pots, so this is the next thing I'm thinking about. Okay, well, given my gold, I'm on 953. I'm 6 CS ahead of him. He's going to want to base soon. And he doesn't have much HP. He doesn't have any health pots. So what I'm thinking is, okay, I either want to A, keep him in lane, or B, wait till he bases and then hard push to deny him as much farm as possible. And I'm leaning on the top side here because I know Jarvan most likely is on bot side, because then after he did that path, I knew he did bot to top and looped around here. So he's either based, come back onto his bot side, or he's still clearing camps on his bot side. And my jungler is nearby on top side as well. And then when I see Zed do this, use his W and takes a chunk for it, now I know, my hunch is that, okay, he's out of vision, he's not roaming, I know what's he doing, so most likely he's looking to base. So what do? I just hard push. Hard push. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that. And now I get a sweet reset. I'm 14 CS ahead of him. And the main thing is not just the gold. He misses 7 or 8 creeps. And now I'm really far ahead in terms of XP. I'm nearly level 6. And he's like not even halfway. So this is really, really big. And look at my first buy. I get to pink and I get my Seeker's armguard. So I'm looking really, really good right now. And the great thing about this, I'll come back to lane. And I won't get to miss any CS here. And I get back to lane perfectly. And when you do this, make sure you ping straight away the enemy. So I ping the Zed out. Going bot. And then he shows back mid. So again, right now, I can't play aggressive still because my jungler just ganked bot is in base. So I'm constantly thinking, where's my jungler? If I were to go in right now, I have no idea where Jarvan is. I should not be looking to push up in my lane quite yet. And this is just accepting the reality when you're playing in a mobile mage and you're versing an aggressive jungler and you have a farm jungler. And this is why those aggressive junglers are just better in solo queue, in my opinion. And then jarvan shows top here. And so this ward is really good. So this ward here, I talk about wards a lot, but this ward specifically is really good when you verse champions that like to roam. Fizz, Talon, LeBlanc, Zed, TF. And what it does, it allows you to see them if they're recalling deep in the lane, or it allows you to see which side they roam onto. So I saw Zed roam onto bot side, and then I can just ping him really early here. And then jarvan goes back into his top side. And sometimes what I like to do here is hard push just to get vision down. And if I just slow build it out and then look to get vision, I might be really vulnerable. So what I like to do here is hard push out. I use this as an opportunity to get a pink in the river, and then I get my blue buff. The reason I pink here is because my top's winning really hard, and I want to use this pink here because I want Amumu to gank top more, because bot's losing, and I don't think we're going to be able to impact bot that much because they're losing pretty hard. So I think that this ward is going to allow Amumu to use the top pressure to invade into top side and also look to get ganks on top easier. If I think top was losing, I would not put this ward here. I would actually put my ward defensively or even on bot river, depending if the bot pixel, if my bot's winning, but if they're losing in this bush over here. So I get my blue, and then this is where you'll see me start to slowly begin to play a little bit more aggressive here. And look at this, Zed starts to base in the lane, and because I have this ward, I get to see him, and I get to stop his base. So at the moment, 49 CS to 62, I'm up about 250 gold. In terms of XP, I'm 7.5, and he's a bit below me here. Alright. Now, because my jungler's around, look, so notice how I'm playing more aggressive because my jungler's around here and I have vision. Look where I'm standing in the lane compared to where I was before. I'm playing a lot more aggressive than I was before. Hit nice thingo. Alt. So here, what I should have done is alt and then Q behind me, then E. But then I actually E before that, hoping I could get the stun off, but he ended up getting his ult off, and then he kind of gets out. But he uses his ult, which is fine. And I've still got corrupting pods ticking right now. So what does this mean? It means that I should push, because he's really low. And I want to make him miss a lot of CS here, so he can't CS any of this. Then I see jarvan in bot side of the river, so I just lean onto top side here. And then what I want to do, I want to keep pushing, because I know Zed wants to base soon. So I want to look to build a wave and deny him CS. So I'm playing a little bit slow here because I know jarvan was in the area, so I have to respect. And then I ping here because I saw a Mumu here, so I actually missed my QE, which is unfortunate. He actually would have died if I hit that. And then here he goes for the ult. And then I flash Q. I thought the flash Q would kill him. If I flash Q autoed, he would actually have died in there. That's just not me knowing the Syndra Q damage with Seekers, because that's a little bit lower given I have Seekers. Here, I actually could have reset, but what I actually choose to do, because he stays and the next wave is already here, I actually choose to stay and push the next wave to deny him a whole wave of CS here, because then he has to base here. So he actually loses all 6 CS here. So now I'm 88 to 62 CS. I'm about 500 gold up, and I'm up a shit ton of CS. I mean XP. I'm up nearly a whole level, like 80% XP bar, which is pretty insane. So now I come back. What do I get? I get a Fiendish Codex and my stopwatch. So I'm pretty much unkillable. I can't die. I can't die to this Zed. So let's just say, sometimes what I like to do is, if I'm really far ahead, say my jungler killed Zed 2 times and Zed was really far behind, sometimes I like to sit on Seekers and then just go into Ludens, because Seekers is enough armor for me to survive. But given that this game's kind of slow and I'm kind of even in lane, a bit ahead, but I haven't killed him and he's not really set behind, I actually really want to finish my my Zhonya's. So let's get back my vision here, and then a skirmish happens in river here, and then I just get a nice little QE and kill him. Bang, double kill. And what I want to do, because he's dead, push. And notice how frustrating this is for Jarvan. He hasn't been able to gank me. Zed hasn't been able to kill me or get any roams off. I'm up 40, what's that? 35 CS, that 1.2 thousand gold. I'm just absolutely dominating right now. Like, and notice how this is just playing super, super slow, cool, calm, collected. Pinging Zed, and now I've got my Zonyas, I've got my boots, and I can start to play a lot more aggressive, even more aggressive. And notice how I'm progressively playing more aggressive. It's not like I'm just playing aggressive for no reason because I'm Syndra. It's playing. That's the danger, and what I see a lot of people play Syndra is that because Syndra is so lane dominant, they get into this habit where it's like, I have to play aggressive 24/7. I have to not get perfect CS. I have to not respect the jungler, and they just die, or they just int, or they get themselves in situations where they're just not as strong as they could be if they just played patient and progressively get a bit more progressively get more aggressive. So I'll leave it at that, and what I'll do now, I'm going to show you the second example of Syndra versus when I actually have the aggressive jungler. So heading into this game, I'm the one who has the aggressive jungler. I have the Lee Sin and they have the Sejuani. So, and this game actually, I thought that I was versing a Veigar or a Xerath mid for some reason, so I actually have Cleanse. And another tip here, if you're not sure if you're versing an AP or an AD mid laner, sometimes it's worth just taking HP. So I end up just taking HP instead of Armor or MR. And then I thought I was versing one of these poke champions, so I end up taking Comet. But Comet ends up working out really well, and it made me think maybe Comet's just better on Syndra nowadays. So anyway, so what I want to show you, I'll play over this a little bit more. Notice how again already I'm playing a lot more aggressive. Because I'm not scared of getting level 2 ganked or anything, so I can just like walk past the minion wave and Q him. And generally what you want to do, again, time your Qs as he walks up like that. Now he walked too far up, so I was able to get a Q. But notice how, and this is really an advanced mid lane technique, but you yourself can apply it, is that if I just spam the wave here and hit him and not hit him and just like kind of push, sometimes it can be difficult for me to punish him. So generally what I like to do is, look how awkward the wave is for him. He has to walk up and cue the wave because it's pushing towards me because he's actually cued the wave. So I can just sit actually on the other side of the wave and actually start playing super aggressive, not having to worry about getting ganked. So this is just like a little advanced technique you can do here when you notice someone hitting the wave too much. Like, even though I'm getting pushed in, I'm like playing aggressive at the same time. And this is why, if you're a melee champion, you should always let yourself get pushed in. Otherwise, you get stuck in this situation. And this is how you punish it as a ranged champion. So I actually thought, I didn't think he would get 3 here, so I actually take a little bit of a bad trade, but ends up being okay. I got corrupting pots. But just notice how different this lane is playing out compared to the last one. He's already pretty much, he's using a lot of his pots. I'm playing a lot more aggressive in the lane. I'm pushing towards him rather than him pushing towards me. And my jungler's like being able to like hover around mid because he can be a lot more aggressive. And because I've got the push mid, he can actually look to invade. So he actually looks to eventually invade the Sejuani. And because what I want to do here, I mean, I can either choose to back up the jungler here, or I can choose to harass Zed under the tower here. And what I end up doing is just choosing to harass Zed with auto attacks here. And I'm already up 21 CS to 12 CS. And so notice how it's a lot more different and it's a lot more heavy trading. And then Lee Sin's able to get a kill because Zed can't respond. And I'm able to isolate the jungle matchup. And yeah, I'm just playing a lot more aggressive now. I'm able to like auto, throw my W's in. But notice how I'm not throwing my E. I only use my E in very specific times when I know I can't get ganked or I know he can't all in me. So I hold my E because it's, and as well, mana. In terms of mana, 743 gold. I still want to get back for my Seekers. So I don't want to go too crazy here, even though I'm playing more aggressive. I still want to get to my Seekers as a first base. And then also, if I use my E, it uses like, it will use a lot of mana. I'll start using a lot of mana. And notice here again, I'm just trying to play quite aggressive here. But again, I'm not just spamming abilities because I know that I want to get to my Seekers. And oh, this is a beautiful trade that you can do here. I'll show you how you can do it yourself. So when you're in this position, when you know that he doesn't have W here, so he uses his W. So what you do, and what I see most Syndras do wrong here, is that they'll just, panic, go, QE, QE. No, ball, then W, and then hold. And notice how he's zigzagging. He's spending time zigzagging. And what that's actually doing is allows me to close the gap, and then it allows me to guarantee hit the E, because he's going to be so close to me, and then he has to flash. And I actually stay in lane for a little bit longer here because I'm not at my Seekers yet. So I'm just farming here with my auto attacks. Farming with my auto attacks. If he steps up, I get a Q. And then he steps up too close and I'm able to get a kill. What do you do when you kill someone? You shove it and base. So already here, 42 CS to 19. He's going to catch these minions. So what is it now? Like 42 to 21. I'm like double his CS. Solo killed him. I've got my Seekers. What do I actually have? I have my Seekers and a Dark Seal. When you have a bit of extra gold and you think you're going to snowball and you're playing for lane, just buy a Dark Seal. It's a really solid purchase. And right now, what do? I use time to ward. And notice how I dodge side to side. And then I'm just dominating him now. Like, he can't really lane against me anymore. I actually hold the wave a little bit here. And so notice how, let me go back. I get this nice trade-off. And then, instead of letting this push into tower, because I know he's low and he doesn't have any abilities, I actually pull this wave into the side bush here. And the main reason I do this, and Freezer here, is because my jungler's not in position to do anything. And if I push up too much, I could like potentially die, or I don't know, I can't really do much because my jungler and my support aren't on the map, or my AD carry is not on the map. So what I end up doing is holding it for a little bit, and then when I realize he needs help, I start to like unpush it, and then start to back up my top side, because I'm like, okay, Zed can maybe roam, so I start to like walk up top side here. Alright, then I'm going to show you something juicy. Because Syndra can actually outrange Zed, what you want to do is see QE, W, and then see how he's walking back to me, because my R outranges his R, so I can R and then walk backwards when he walks at me like that, so he can't get his ult off, and then I can just finish him off like that. Let me show you one more time. This is like obviously a Zed specific thing, but this the mindset here is like, I don't want him to get his ultimate off, so what I want to do, I want to Q, W, and then I walk backwards so he can't ult me, and then Q auto, bang. So generally what you've already seen so far, and the main point I wanted to show is that notice how different the lane is playing out purely because I was able to have the freedom to push out. And notice here I actually get Fiendish Codex, not Stopwatch, because I'm so far ahead and he can't kill me anymore anyway, because he's really far behind. He's 0-2. Just double. I'm like 1,000 gold ahead of him. End up being 3 levels above this guy eventually. Okay, so yeah, anyway, so the game is pretty much free from now on. Now I can do whatever way I want. I can push him in and roam myself. I can constantly, and what I actually, I would recommend if you're in this position and you want to snowball on Syndra, is push once, get some really nice vision on one side of the lane, and then continually harass. Get really far ahead, control objectives, look to roam when you get opportunities, build Zhonya's still, because it makes you unkillable, and then you can look to snowball. And I've covered this in other videos like this. I like these roams like this. So as you can see, how different I was able to play the lane purely because I had the aggressive jungler. So this is what I want to pose to you guys. If you're playing mid, don't think of the lane as 1v1. Think of the game and the mid lane as a mid jungle 2v2. That's how I always think about it. How can I play this lane given the jungle matchup and given their position on the map, given my vision, given their kill threat on me, all this stuff. Constantly think and adapt and push your limits, and have a think while you're in champ select. Have a think while you're in the loading screen. Use this time to actually prepare the way you want to play your waves, the way you want to play your lane, the way you want to itemize. This is all basic fundamental stuff. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what other champions you want to see more of, and I will continue to pump out more videos. Cheers. Thanks for watching.